Let me start this video by just saying that there are absolutely no spoilers in this video. I don't know anything, and even if I did, I would not be sharing anything about the movie. Of course, the movie comes out in just a couple of days, so it is scary out there, so please be careful, and also no spoilers in the comments down below. If I see a spoiler, you will immediately be blocked from the channel. I'm just trying to keep it as safe as possible because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. But thank you guys for tuning in and understanding, and let's dive into the video. The Mario Galaxy movie comes out in a couple of days, and according to people that watched it, there is going to be 2 post-credit scenes. Now, I don't know anything about these scenes like I've already stated, but all we're going to do is just straight up speculate and talk about what this could be. I believe the only thing that we know about the scenes, without spoiling it, of course, is the fact that one of the scenes is going to have something to do with the future of the films, and then one of the scenes apparently is going to tease some type of future spin-off film. Either way, it looks like you're going to want to sit to the very end of the credits here. But the first thing I'm going to start off by saying is Nintendo uses these movies to advertise upcoming projects and products in order to, better sell games that help sell the movies, and they just kind of both help each other sell well, you know what I mean? Now, with that in mind, I want to talk about how Nintendo did, in fact, already reveal Star Fox, Fox McCloud himself, appearing in the movie. He's going to be voiced by Glenn Powell, which is a pretty big name for somebody like Fox in a Mario Galaxy movie. Now, it's safe to say that Fox is going to have a bigger role than we thought. In fact, from some people that I've heard so far, he actually does have a more important role than just a little cameo. That's why he even has his own poster. So it seems like Fox is going to be tied into this story in some sort of way, which is pretty interesting. But it makes me wonder, is he going to be one of the characters that's teasing a future film outside of the Mario universe? I can definitely see a post-credit scene where maybe Fox returns to his crew, and we get to see characters like Slippy, Peppy, and even Falco on screen for a short second, or perhaps they do a cool little reference where they're each in their own R-Wing, and you can see little character boxes pop up where they're talking in them like they do in the games. But maybe they say something like, alright, it's time to go take out Andross, or we just got a report from General Pepper. They need us on Corneria right now, or something like that. Could be pretty cool. Now, what makes this even more likely is well-known leaker and insider Nate the Hate came out and pretty much said one of the big games this summer for Nintendo is going to be a new Star Fox game. And he claims that this game will be announced within the next month, so probably sometime in April, which is pretty cool. And we know that Star Fox is still kind of relatively niche. It's not one of those franchises that everyone and their kids are going to know. It's a character in a franchise that you're definitely going to want to build up and get hype behind. And what better way to build up Fox and his crew than with a big, not only cameo, but a big role in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and then maybe even tease a film for the Star Fox crew coming later on. And I mean, seriously, this just makes way too much sense, at least in my head, because this is the perfect way to get Star Fox back on the main stage. The last game was Star Fox Zero on the dying Wii U, so it really didn't have a chance. The rumor is apparently this new Star Fox game is going to be once again just like the classics, with classic on-rails gameplay, probably even open zone areas as well. I can already see this game being a big hit, but it could be even bigger with a new and younger audience after watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I am almost fully convinced that that's exactly what one of the post-credit scenes is going to be. However, I do feel like moving on to Star Fox right after Mario and Zelda coming next year seems a little too quick, and they might want to move on to a different character. Now, something that I'm still praying for is a Luigi's Mansion movie. This is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises and always has been since the first one on the GameCube, and I would love to see a Luigi spin-off movie where maybe Mario gets kidnapped by King Boo and it's up to Luigi to be the main protagonist and maybe teaming up with EGAD. I feel like this actually has a pretty good chance of happening, and let me tell you why. There's been a lot of theories, mostly from me online, talking about EGAD potentially being in this movie. There are tons of scenes we've seen so far with giant red monitors and green screens all around laboratory looking settings, and I really do think that's because EGAD's going to be in this movie. In fact, we even got a new image that shows a white mug in the background with a blue logo on it, and tell me that's not EGAD's logo on that mug. Yeah, I'm at the point where I think I'd be genuinely shocked if EGAD doesn't show up here. Look, I would love a Star Fox movie, but for them to tease an upcoming Luigi's Mansion movie, it would make me so happy. The voice actor for Luigi, Charlie Day, has also gone on record multiple times, and even for the Mario Galaxy movie, and stated that he would love to be in a Luigi's Mansion movie. Think of a post-credit scene where maybe Luigi's walking around EGAD's lab at the very end of the movie, and he finds a poltergust kind of buried under some rubble, or like under a cloth, and he lifts it up and just looks at it, and you hear like the doom 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 boom. and it just cuts off. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. I mean, this October will be 7 years since Luigi's Mansion 3. I think a lot of us are expecting the game to be either this year or next year, and I think this is going to be a massive title for Nintendo. 3 sold so well, so they can make Luigi's Mansion 4 sell crazy numbers if they have a movie to come out alongside it. Plus, I'm seeing the movie the first time with my parents and my brother, so my dad's gonna be there. He's the one that, you know, put me on to gaming in the first place, and Luigi's Mansion is one of the first games we ever played together. So this would be one of the greatest moments between me and my dad ever, so I'm praying this happens. Another character that could get some sort of tease are the Pikmin. We actually know that they're going to be in the movie in some capacity. They were in a big trailer full of characters and enemies in the movie, and they were just there for some reason. So I could definitely see like a post-credit scene where, you know, maybe the destruction of the final battle or something, you know, you see some Pikmin flowers pop up in between the rubble, or maybe you see Olimar come in order to call them, like you see his ship land, the SS Dolphin, and he's just kind of blowing his whistle in the background looking for all the Pikmin or something. Or maybe he's just looking for parts or pieces of stuff for Sparklium, and, you know, he's just sitting there digging through the rubble and the Pikmin go up to him, and then that's all we see. But yeah, I would love a Pikmin movie in the future. I mean, we've seen Nintendo dabble with shorts in the past, and even a new short recently. Plus, we're talking about Miyamoto's boys here. I mean, that's going to be Mario, Star Fox, and Pikmin all the way. I mean, he's always pushing these franchises, and Pikmin is one that he's desperately been pushing to get into the limelight a lot more, which I think it definitely deserves it. So I would love to see Pikmin finally get a big debut on the movie screen. I'm hoping they're not just some small little cameo where they're just, you know, in the background of some scenes. I hope they actually maybe can reference something coming in the future. But who knows? Maybe there's other IPs in this movie. Samus makes an appearance, and maybe even Kirby in the Galaxy riding a Warp Star for some reason makes an appearance, and maybe one of these other characters get a movie. We know that Chris Pratt has said multiple times that this Mario Galaxy movie is going to help expand the universe of Nintendo movies and not just Mario. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's some big surprises for us. I mean, if they showed us Star Fox with Fox McCloud already, who knows what else they're hiding, because I can't believe they showed us that one. So that tells me that they have to have some heavy hitters under their belt that we don't even know about right now. Now let's talk about a post-credit scene that pushes the Mario universe a little bit more. Now, something I didn't mention, but he was in the first movie, so I thought I'd just say it for this section, is there could also be a tease for the Donkey Kong movie. Donkey Kong is nowhere to be seen in this movie, and neither are any of the Kongs, which played a big role in the first movie. So I would not be surprised if maybe at the last second they show us something with what Donkey Kong has been doing this whole time. We've been hearing tons of rumors that there is a Donkey Kong movie in production. We've been hearing this before they even announced the Zelda movie, which also had rumors at the time. So I do think Donkey Kong is probably going to be getting some sort of film. It's just so strange that him and Seth Rogen are just MIA with this movie. So I do think there's going to be something coming up with Donkey Kong. But still, we're not talking about the future film, the third Super Mario movie. Where will they be going next? Because with Galaxy, they're pulling elements from Odyssey, they're pulling elements from even Mario Sunshine. What the heck is next? Well, there's definitely some characters, if they're not in this movie, they're going to be getting teased sooner or later. For instance, I know a lot of people want to see Princess Daisy because we're going to have Peach and Rosalina. We need the trifecta to be completed. Where's Daisy? So maybe the third movie takes place in Sarasa Land or something along those lines. And maybe the Mario Land games will serve as the main inspiration for those movies, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know why they would want to go from Galaxy to Mario Land inspiration, but hey, having Daisy is sure to be a winner for a lot of people. And if you decide to go with a storyline that combines both Mario Land games, that means you could also tease Wario as well. This is one that a lot of people were really hoping were in the Mario Galaxy movie. That would be way too crowded of a cast, but I could 100% see them teasing maybe Wario and even Waluigi together in some scene, maybe in Brooklyn. So the more I think about it, it doesn't sound too wacky to have a Super Mario Land inspired third movie. But let's go back to what I said with Star Fox, with Nintendo showing off Fox McCloud for the movie, with all these which seem to be very reliable rumors pointing at a Star Fox game coming relatively soon. I think they're going to do the exact same thing with the Koopalings. They literally just dropped Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition DLC, and they really pushed this Switch 2 Edition. And the main stars of this DLC are the Koopalings, which now are added boss battles which have tons of wacky wonder effects, and they all are so well done. I mean, people are truly loving the Koopalings again. As someone who wasn't previously super big fans of these characters, because after watching the classic TV shows, they had so much more character than what they do in the video games. But But thankfully, games like Paper Mario Color Splash and even now Super Mario Bros. Wonder brings these characters to life, and I do feel like they're being advertised in Mario Wonder for a specific reason. I don't see a world where Nintendo has the first movie focused on Bowser and Kamek, the second movie focused on Bowser Jr., and a third movie not be focused on the Koopalings. When people say I don't know what they're possibly going to do with a third movie, this is exactly what comes to mind. These are very important, well-established characters in Mario canon, so having all 7 Koopalings, 7 brand new characters, and 7 brand new villains for the third movie just sounds too perfect. Now, just because we've already gotten some Odyssey references and some Sunshine references, maybe even a couple of 64 references, it doesn't mean those movies are just completely out of the question. I could still see them going with a Mario 64 movie, where Mario's trapped in the castle and having to go through tons of paintings and stuff. And I can even see a movie based around Super Mario Sunshine, them all taking a vacation together and things just going haywire, even though they've already well-established Bowser Jr. It may not work as well anymore, but another one that just makes a lot of sense is Super Mario Odyssey, adding a brand new character of Cappy and his sister Tiara. Imagine a post-credits scene where everybody's like playing a party game, or maybe driving carts around a track, or playing some type of sports game referencing obviously the spin-offs, but then in the background you see Cappy like looking out of the bushes, and or you just see some red eyes glow and you hear his like signature or something, and you see him just watching after Mario and friends. And then the third movie is about them taking a big journey around the world, and instead of the Brutals helping Bowser, it's just the Koopalings or something. I don't know, I'm spitballing, but there's so many different directions they can take this, and so many different characters they can use to tease a post-credit scene. Literally just coming up with 2 characters for 2 scenes is impossible. But I leave it up to you guys. Once again, please, if you've seen something or even heard anything online, do not spoil it for others in the comments down below. I would really love to just see what people have to say in mind. In fact, I probably won't even look at the comment section of this video, simply due to the fact that I'm just trying my hardest to not get spoiled by anything. But please, be respectful, be kind, be nice, and don't ruin experiences for other people down there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Nintendo in general. I'm going to be talking nonstop about this movie. I am seeing it literally first showing Wednesday morning, so I'll be giving you my pretty early review and just discussion about the movie once I see it on Wednesday morning. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.